What's up, everyone? There has been a heartbreaking betrayal in the Big Brother house, and it's been very, very sad over the past 24 hours. But just like life, the game goes on. We've got so much to talk about, so welcome to your live feed update. Alright folks, so question of the day, who would you like to win head of household going into the double on Thursday night? So after the first person is evicted on Thursday and the new HOH will be crowned, who would you like that new head of household to be? And I guess you can let me know why, because you can probably pick who you think they're going to nominate, that sort of stuff. But folks, let me know who you would like to see win HOH in the double eviction on Thursday night. Okay folks, so ahead of today's live feed update, I just wanted to say this to everybody. In the past 24 hours in the house, it's been a very emotional time, and I've seen a lot of people on social media discussing different opinions on people's moral standpoints and their gameplay. So I fully acknowledge everybody is going to have a different opinion today, but please, 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 I say this at the end of every single video, be kind to one another. If you're going to take part in the comment section today, people are going to have different opinions on different matters, but don't be nasty to one another, please. I'm emphasising that so much. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and whether or not you agree with it is your choice, but don't be nasty to one another about those opinions. Please just hear each other out, maybe have the debate, but don't have an aggressive debate. Just hear everybody out, and please just spread the love and kindness and be kind to one another, like I always say, folks. I hope that shines through to everybody today. So let's start the live feed update. Alright folks, so now with Alyssa having won the power of veto, many house guests are starting to worry, especially the ones within the cookout, how they are going to navigate their way to the next round without Alyssa finding out about the cookout. So Tiffany is trying to obviously tell Claire about the cookout, because she's going to have to put Claire up on the block. She's planning how she's going to do this and what she's going to say without exposing the cookout, and she's going to try and sell it as she's got individual deals with each person. Whereas Xavier doesn't want Alyssa to find out about the cookout at all, because he doesn't want to feel like he's betrayed her or anything like that, which I find I'm confused with Xavier's behaviour. I mean, going backwards and forwards, because this is where I stand with this one, right? And just remember folks, please don't bark at me. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I respect everybody's for that matter, and I'd love to hear everybody's opinion on this, right? But somebody, DM'd me on Instagram yesterday, and they were like, "Hi Tom, I just want to sort of know what do you think of Xavier, trying to keep Alyssa around and making that move. Don't you think it's good gameplay?" And I'm glad that person messaged me, and I appreciated it, because I said, "Do you know what?" And I split it down the middle, right? I said, yes, it is good gameplay. If we're looking at it solely from a gameplay point, it's fantastic. Props to Xavier for doing that. However, on the other hand, I'm looking at it from a moral standpoint and saying it's totally unacceptable and it's disgusting. That's where I stand with it, because Xavier has, in my opinion, kind of used the cookout as a vehicle to get himself further to the end and then betray the cookout, or not show loyalty to the cookout to get Alyssa further, because he's probably got a crush on her. Now, if it was any other season where it was just a normal alliance, just an alliance doing their thing to get to the end, I'd say, fantastic, go on Xavier, that's brilliant, you're betraying your alliance. Not many people do that. Brilliant gameplay. But the cookout isn't just an alliance. The cookout is a social message. The cookout is a mission. The cookout is a statement. And Xavier using that statement and that vehicle and that social message, as a vehicle, in my eyes, is disgusting. Don't talk about taking Arza and Big D and Tiffany out before Alyssa and pretending last week that you care all about, Alyssa might need to go next because all the people in the cookout need to get further. And I don't think it's acceptable. I think he even made a comment about saying, all people of colour need to be here, so that's why Claire needs to go and Alyssa needs to stay. That is incredibly disrespectful to Derek X as well, in my eyes. I've lost all respect for Xavier. I was rooting for him so hard. He was in my top 2 for who was going to win the game, and now I think it's kind of disgusting how he's basically, in my eyes, used the cookout as a vehicle to get further, pretending to care about it, and then getting down to the wire and basically screwing over his teammates for Alyssa. It's either you're in the cookout or you're not. I respect good gameplay, and I would say it's good gameplay, like I said, but from a moral standpoint, I think it's disgusting. And like I said, everybody else is entitled to their opinion, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of heat for saying all that, but equally I know a lot of people will agree with me. I've seen Xavier getting a lot of heat on social media over the past couple of days for his behaviour, and I stand by what I said there, and I do think it's been wrong. Tiffany, on the other hand, let's talk about this, because Tiffany has obviously had to tell Claire that she has to go up on the block, and it was a truly heartbreaking moment. She was sat with Claire, and imagine thinking someone's your best friend and your loyalist ally in the house for 2 months, and then for them to say, I'm going to put you on the block. Not only put you on the block, but backdoor you. Claire was heartbroken. It was horrible to watch, but Claire understood. And what I loved about Tiffany in that moment, and Claire for that matter, Claire took it brilliantly, and she cried. She was sobbing her heart out, and you can't help but just kind of want to give her a hug in that moment. But Claire understood. She showed real strength of character there, and she understood. So massive respect to her. And my respect for Tiffany went sky high as well because of this reason. Tiffany said to Claire, I acknowledge that the rest of the people in the cookout don't give a about me, or the majority of them. And I think she's kind of hitting towards Big D, Xavier, and Kylan there. Tiffany realised that she came into this house and she said to Claire, I have to do what I believe in. And she believes in the cookout's message. And whether or not the rest of the cookout believe in that, or the majority of the cookout believe in that, that doesn't matter. I'm going to stand up for what I believe in. And for that moment, for Tiffany, who's been playing an excellent game, to basically throw away her chance at the $750,000, nearly said million there, the $750,000 to stand up for what she believes in, it might not be the greatest game move, but it makes her an incredible person for that. Because she actually didn't use the cookout as a vehicle to get herself further. She used the cookout as something that she believed in, and then she's fell on the sword there. And I've got so much respect for Tiffany there, and it's made me lose a lot of respect for some other members of the cookout. Now, like I said, folks, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Please don't bark at me, because I'm willing to hear out everybody else's opinions on this matter, but that's mine. And I've got so much respect for Tiffany and Claire after that moment. Now, in regards to Claire finding out the news, obviously she was heartbroken, she was extremely upset, but she understood it, and like we say, I've got a lot of respect for that. And she had basically said, and they both acknowledged to one another, Tiffany and Claire both said the friendship is going to last, it's gonna last through this, and Claire understood why Tiffany was doing what she was doing. And as a result, I think Claire also didn't just kind of throw away her vote to her. She basically said, do you know what, I'm going to vote for you at the end, Tiffany, don't let me vote for anybody else, because Claire said that she respects that Tiffany's actually standing up for what she believes in when the other people in the house wouldn't do that. And I couldn't agree with Claire more. She is right, and like it's clear as day in my eyes. Claire's right when she's basically saying, do you know what, you're such an incredible person and a great person for actually, whilst realising it's not the greatest move to take me out, you're actually standing up for a cause that's more important than this. And the fact that Claire's still willing to give her the jury vote at that point speaks volumes, when Claire's acknowledging, do you know what, you're actually willing to do that, when, do you know what, I don't think Xavier would do that, I don't think Carlin would do that, I don't think Big D would do that. I mean, I'm not sure about Azza and Hannah. I do believe they have more credibility for the cookout than the three guys do, but only time's going to tell, obviously, when it's... I think next week's going to be quite a revealing week as well in regards to Alyssa, if she leaves or not. Well, it's going to be the double, essentially, so I'll say next week it's going to be an intense night, let's just say that. It's going to be an emotional night, and it's going to be an intense night on Thursday. But again, there's Claire kind of promising the jury vote to Tiffany, but I think after this week, I think Tiffany might actually struggle to make it out the double, especially if Xavier is prioritising Alyssa over Tiffany. Now, Tiffany made the statement, the only way someone stands a chance in this game of winning is if Xavier leaves the house. Now, it's an interesting take, because I would say Tiffany and X are the only people who can sweep the victory through and through if they get to the end. And then, obviously, if Tiffany's going to be taken out of the equation, then it's X. X is going to be leading. He's going to be leading the charge. You know, whether he's been moral or good gameplay or not, he will be leading the charge. And it's going to be interesting, because I would say Big D doesn't have the credibility to win the game. Azza hasn't shown that much. However, I think she stands a better chance than Big D. Hannah could take it, but I would say Hannah needs to cut Xavier, like Tiffany was kind of saying there. And Kyland could make a case for himself, I would say, but he can't be sitting next to Xavier. So it's very interesting, you know. It's always that kind of line where you've got to look every single season. There's people on the outside of the house, you know, as viewers, we are looking and we realise who's playing the best game. And then in the house, it's a totally different ball game. And of course, the jury roundtable will mix things up. People will probably feel betrayed, because obviously with the cookout having to turn on each other, there's going to be more betrayals and there's going to be more feelings of, oh my god, why did that person do that to me? And that's obviously going to counter into who people are going to vote to win the game in the end. So that's going to be an interesting one. So like we said, it's an interesting take that Tiffany says Xavier is going to be the only person that can win this game and nobody else stands a chance unless he goes. I do think she's right because X has played a great game. And like I said, folks, I'm trying to separate game from a moral standpoint, but solely from a game perspective, Xavier's done good. And he has laid low. He has controlled like drama and fights when they're about to break out. He has kept everything under wraps. And he's done good as a result of that. And like I said, folks, solely on game, he's played good. And Tiffany is correct in thinking that nobody stands a chance unless he goes. That is all of your live feed updates today for a very emotional day in the house. It's been a crazy one. It really has. Today's live feed update kind of just had a different feeling to me. You know, coming into filming it today, I was kind of a little bit kind of apprehensive about it in a way because I feel like there's been so much kind of controversy going on over the past couple of days. You can't help but kind of worry when I deliver the news and deliver my opinion on the news, what people are going to say. And, you know, I always say at the end of my videos, I say, you know, be kind to one another. And I really want to emphasize that one today, right? People are going to have different opinions in the comment section. Everybody's going to have their own opinion. But please, 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 as Big Brother fans, let's all put our differences aside and listen to one another and respect each other's opinion. Don't bark at each other. Don't be nasty to one another. Just, if you don't agree with someone, have the debate, but don't have an aggressive debate. Have the debate, show your opinion, but don't be nasty to one another, guys. I mean, I really want to emphasise that one today because it's been one hell of an emotional day in the house with Claire finding out. She was sobbing her heart out. It was truly one of the most heartbreaking moments in all 23 seasons of Big Brother. And some questionable moral gameplay, some questionable good gameplay. People are making different moves and they've got to do what they've got to do to get to the end. But we've got to remember at the end of the day, it's a game. But yes, real personal issues can filter into the game. So that's why I'm emphasising, folks, on saying, please just be kind to one another and don't give each other a bad rap. Just listen to each other's opinions and try and be positive. But folks, I hope that message kind of got through there, and I hope I don't kind of feel like I'm rubbing anyone up the wrong way by saying that. I just really want to emphasise, be kind to one another. Alright, folks, but I'd love to hear everybody's opinions, positive opinions on this week so far. Do you think Tiffany's been a good HOH? Has she made the right move in sending Claire to the jury this week, or putting Claire, or she's about to put Claire on the block, likely today at the nomination ceremony? What do you think, folks? Do you think it's the right move that she's made? And what do you think of everybody else's gameplay? I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts in the comment section below. But folks, I'll say as I always do, make sure that you're staying safe, staying positive and healthy out there, and be kind to one another. Alright, folks? But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.